This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one. I kind of want to start maybe a little debate on this one too. This is going to be like one of those interesting videos where I kind of want to be interactive with you guys. And I want to hear your opinions and your thoughts, because this is a topic that I've went back and forth on in my life. Does unconditional love exist? Is it even a thing? Is it a thing? What do you guys think? Yes or no? Some people might have some strong opinions on this. Maybe some people don't. And I had a really strong opinion before I went to Date with Destiny. Then I started like weighing back and forth, and I'm not 100% sure anymore. So, but like I am leaning towards one way. So I'm gonna kind of talk about the arguments back and forth, and then let's find out. So originally, my entire life, I didn't believe unconditional love existed. Okay, that's originally what I know, and I'll tell you why. Because when I think of love, I think of a relationship with a girl, for me personally, right? Or like with a spouse. Okay, that's usually what comes to mind. But then obviously you got to think about like kids, or you got to think about parents. So let's get into all that right now. Okay, so unconditional love in a relationship with a significant other, does that exist? I think absolutely not. I don't think that's very arguable, and I'll tell you why. Some people might say like, I unconditionally love my partner, but if you're a guy watching this video, you know that you're not going to unconditionally love your girlfriend or your wife if she is constantly cheating on you, or if she literally just like disrespects you in every single way. That love is going to vanish. Okay, it's not rocket science. Or if you're a woman and you're in a relationship with a guy and he just like, he literally like doesn't even look at you anymore. All he wants to do is sit on the couch and watch football, and like it never takes you out. Like you're gonna eventually, that love is gonna vanish. You're gonna be like, who is this guy? All right. So I think with relationships, I think it's a little bit hard to argue that there is such a thing as unconditional love, because there are conditions. One condition is don't cheat on me. Next condition is like, if you do this, this, and that, then we'll continue to kind of love each other and make this work. But if one person is just like, nope, I'm not going to try. I'm not doing anything. It's not going to work. You're eventually going to stop loving this person. Inevitably, it's just impossible. But then let's talk about unconditional love in the sense of, let's say with like maybe one of your parents or your children. This is where it gets interesting, if it actually exists or not. If there's one person I can say that I unconditionally think that I love, it would be my mother, right? But then I think about it, like, let's take things to the extreme now. Let's get really extreme here. Like, I'm not, we're hypothetically talking now here, by the way. We're just conversating back and forth. This is a hypothetical thing. Let's say now my mother, who I unconditionally love, in my opinion, now decides to, let's say, we're talking crazy now, but let's say she decides to, kill someone. She just killed somebody. Am I still gonna unconditionally love her? The answer from me would be yes. And I'll tell you why. Because when she kills someone, let's say for example, that's a behavior that she's doing, right? This is a behavior that she's doing, and she must have been driven, like I have a deep trust in me that she must have been driven by something to do this, like an external force of some sort, or like something really bad must have happened. And I trust that her intentions were distorted, okay? So like, let's say if I found out that my mom killed someone and she went to prison, I wouldn't stop loving her. I mean, that's the truth. There's a lot of people in this world that you'd be like, oh, hell no, like I'm never gonna talk to this person again, okay? But there's certain people in your life that you might literally have no conditions over your love. Or let's say you're a father. You're a father and your son is like a massive drug addict, and he let's take it to the extreme again. Like I'm doing it just for an example. Some people are gonna be scared of this video. It's a little bit dark. Let's say your son, he goes off on like a killing spree or something insane like that. But you know deep down inside, he's a good soul, and he just got lost somewhere along the way. Are you still gonna love him being your son? I don't know. I don't know what the answer would be for you guys. Like, I think it's hard to say no, but it's like nobody wants to say yes, dude. Like, I don't want to, my son to do anything like that. But if he did, let's say he just took like some crazy drugs one night and like, I don't know, something's up, and he did that. Some people might be like, let me disown this person. And then some people will be like, listen, I unconditionally love this person. And I know that if he went to do something like that, there must have been something very, very wrong. And something drove him to do this. And they're like more understanding of it. Even at the extremes, they're understanding of it. Like Tony Robbins talks about coming down from the extremes a little bit. Tony Robbins talks about his wife and he says, I unconditionally love her. Okay? That means if she sleeps with another guy and she ends up hating Tony, he's still gonna love her because he loves her soul deep down inside. And if she's gonna be happier with another man, then he still is gonna love her, which for some people it's a difficult thing to grasp, right? So it's like a weird dynamic there where he's just like, I have so much love for this person that I want to see them happy no matter what the circumstances are. Even if they hurt me or hurt others, if they're happy in some way, then that's all there is. And I love them. And then the other counter argument is that you can just disown these kind of people and never speak to them again and completely stop loving them. And that's an argument as well. So there are some conditions, there are some conditions in love. Some of the conditions are, don't kill each other, don't kill humans, be respectful, and like things like that. But like, there's usually, I would say in like 99.7% of relationships, there are conditions, okay? If you respect me, if you do this, if you do that, then I can love you. But otherwise, it's not unconditional. There's conditions, okay? Don't cheat on me. Don't kill anyone that I know. Take me out every once in a while. Laugh with me. Let's do activities. There's conditions, okay? There's conditions everywhere. There's conditions in almost every single relationship in life. But do I believe that there are maybe a tiny bit of relationships in your life that are so deep that unconditional love just trumps everything? Part of me wants to believe that, yes. And, I'm open to discussion about this topic. But yeah, part of me wants to say yes, And, Tony's really empathetic about this stuff too. And he says like, he just feels bad, for people that make terrible choices in life or behave in a certain way that's just really toxic. But it's usually not the human. It's usually something that got caught up, and it's like a distortion. Like he thinks everyone has like a lot of good inside them naturally, and sometimes we're just driven to make very bad choices. Sometimes we're just driven to make very bad choices just based on like our mental state or based on influence or environments, and like there's a lot of things that come into play, and sometimes really good people can do really bad things, and sometimes they're hard to forgive, and sometimes you can forgive it. It depends on the actual human. Like if this is a friend that you've known for 1 year, or a relationship you've been in for 2 years, obviously you're gonna finish it off and you're gonna move on. But when it's a deeper relationship like that, like a parent or a child, then things get a little bit more complicated, because you're just like, I know this person, they're a good soul. So if they did something like this, something really bad must have been going on, and I'm not sure what it could have been, but you kind of like convince yourself that something must have been off here for them to do something bad like that, and then you still unconditionally love them regardless of what they did or how they behaved. You kind of have this empathetic understanding of their being, and you trust that they didn't mean harm, which is kind of weird to say. And this video took like a bit of a dark turn, but it's just the truth, and sometimes it's nice to, talk about things like this. And so, yeah, so the general moral of this is it's open for topic. I want to discuss with you guys. You guys let me know if you guys agree, if you disagree with anything I said. But I do think that unconditional love is a word that's thrown around way too much. Usually it's not the case. You don't love people unconditionally. It's very rare to find a human that you're gonna love in an unconditional kind of way. When I say unconditionally, I mean literally unconditionally, okay? And the average, or almost all significant other relationships, there's probably not going to be an unconditional love. There's conditions, if you do this and this and that, we'll continue. If you don't, then it's just not going to happen. Okay. So I just wanted to, this is just there's no I don't have a certain message for you guys in this video. I don't have a certain thing to tell you. I just want to tell you my thoughts on unconditional love. And maybe I want to hear your thoughts on unconditional love, and just to share your thoughts and kind of delve into this topic. It's just like a rant. Let's call this the unconditional love rant. But when somebody says they unconditionally love, somebody, I'd say eight or 9 times out of 10, they're not. It's not true, But if you do have, at least if you have one human on this earth that you unconditionally love no matter what, that's already huge. I'd say, because most people probably are going to have 0 that they will unconditionally love. But if you have 1, maybe 2, then that's pretty powerful. That's pretty powerful. And yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say. Drop a comment in the section down below, and let's start a topic. Let's discuss this. Let's talk about it. I know nobody wants to get into death and all this, killing people and all these twists and turns. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and see you guys next video. It won't be as dark as this one.